If you have a shoe that's really thick and clunky, you're going to compromise that ability, and it's going to compromise your balance, and it can lead to other issues with your toes, your ankle, your knees, your hips, and right up through the whole kinetic chain, right up to your neck even. There are probably 5 things that I hold dear to my heart when it comes to longevity and reversing the aging process and aging gracefully, especially if you're over 40. One of which is barefoot running and barefoot fitness. In this video, I'm going to do a full review on this company called Hike, which has an amazing barefoot running shoe. And I'm going to talk about the experience I had today when I went and got the mail and found out that my significant other, Jen, bought 2 pair of these shoes. And I'm super excited about that. So I'm going to do a full review and I'm going to talk a little bit more about her journey from regular shoes to barefoot shoes. But before I get down to the nitty gritty, make sure to like and share this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet. Now, I have done several videos on barefoot fitness. I talked about how to go from shoes to no shoes. I did a couple reviews on a couple different companies, and now I'm going to be doing a review on this latest company that I came across through my significant other, Jen. One of the things I want you to pay attention to is just why would you want to go barefoot? Well, here's the deal. When you get a shoe, I'm going to call them a clunky shoe, such as those ones that rhyme with polka, which I've said that in the past, and I'm not going to say the actual name, but you can do the math on that one. It's got a really thick sole in it like this. I call it a manwich sole. So, because it's like a big manwich. Remember the manwich that came in the cans and then you mixed it up with beef and stuff and whatever? Yeah. Okay. You never want to use a manwich shoe. When you use those shoes, you get all this thick padding, and oftentimes it's like this and it's curved. When you're standing on that padding for long periods of time, it actually destroys your feet. And a lot of people don't realize this or know it. It ends up years down the road that you are susceptible to bunions, toe problems, foot problems, plantar fasciitis, all these different things, because your toes are stuck in this narrow toe box, and the front of a shoe is the toe box. That's where your toes go into. If that's too narrow, your toes are always being crunched in like this. And then the muscles in the bottom of your feet don't get to work, and your toes don't get to spread out. And that is very bad news for your feet. It can cause issues down the road, and we don't want that. We want to age gracefully, and one of the big parts of doing that is allowing your toes to do what they're naturally made to do. And that is sprawl out like this and work properly. If you have a shoe that's really thick and clunky, you're going to compromise that ability, and it's going to compromise your balance, and it can lead to other issues with your toes, your ankle, your knees, your hips, and right up through the whole kinetic chain, right up to your neck even. We want to avoid that at all costs. So when you have one of those thick, clunky shoes, and you're constantly walking on it, your heel is slapping like this and going like this over and over again. And that spells bad news for your heel, and that's where plantar fasciitis can start kicking in. And not only that, but it's bad news altogether for your whole kinetic chain, like I just mentioned. And that's why you don't want one of those thick, clunky shoes. It gives you this false sense of security. They have all this padding on your feet, and you can run, and you can hike, and you can go across rocks and pebbles and stones and roots and all these different things and not have a care in the world. But at what cost? Down the road, it's a big cost. It is better to learn how to become a minimalist runner, walker, and hiker, and gym goer all rolled into one. And in the summertime, I literally run barefoot, absolutely barefoot, out on the streets, out on sidewalks, in sand, on light gravel, and definitely on grass. And to me, that is freedom. You want to have as much freedom with your feet as possible. And I also drive barefoot. I do everything barefoot, and I only wear shoes when I'm absolutely legally obligated to do so in the summer. And even in the winter, well, it's not winter quite yet, it's fall, I still drive around barefoot, sometimes to the gym or hot yoga class, and I walk across the parking lot and I go in and out of buildings. And to me, that is freedom. And that's what you want. And those are some of the key motivators that you should look at when it comes to transitioning from thick-soled shoes down to thin-soled shoes. And eventually, I would encourage you to try to get to barefoot altogether. I'm not going to go into extreme detail on that, but just know that when you get to that point, you transfer all of the force production to the front of your foot and you land with a forefoot strike like this or a midfoot strike because you have to when you're barefoot. And that's when all the magic really starts to happen. Your toes get to sprawl, the muscles in the bottom of your feet get to work, and life becomes really good. You even experience this massive brain function boost too, because you have to stay very aware of every step you take when you're walking and running barefoot. But if you don't want to go completely barefoot, then I highly suggest you get a thin-soled, flat-soled shoe with a 0 heel drop, which I will talk about in a second. Having said all that, 2 weeks ago, I noticed Jen, my significant other, was on her phone and she's piddling around and she's like, what do you think of these shoes? What do you think of these shoes? And she's showing me pictures and I'm like, they look like minimalist shoes. And she's like, they are. They're supposed to be good for your feet and they're supposed to be good for your ankles and all these different things and prevent all these different injuries. And I was ecstatic. because I've been trying to get her to get barefoot shoes for a long time now. Let's just call them minimalist shoes, actually. There's not really any such thing as a barefoot shoe because it's you're either barefoot or you have a shoe. Minimalist shoes, let's go there. Anyway, she spent a while looking around all these shoes and she's like, what do you think of these? What do you think of these? She arrived upon 2 different pair and she bought them. They arrived today and I texted her excitedly and said, hey, your shoes arrived finally. She said, well, open them up and take a look at them. I ripped them open and I was ecstatic with what I found. I'm already in love with this company and I'm going to tell you why right now. The name of the company is Hike Footwear. And this is the package the shoes came in. They were actually encased in these plastic bags for extra protection, I guess. And they were both stuffed into this bag right here. So it's this nice little carrying container, which when you buy these shoes, you can just reuse this. You can reuse it for your shoes and take them with you when you travel, or you can use this for alternate things too. You can put snacks in here, or you can put, I don't know, workout gloves if you go to the gym, or you can just put anything you want in here and then pull these strings tight, and then you have yourself a nice little extra bag. Now let's talk about the shoes themselves. I'm going to show you both pairs, first of all. Here's one of them. These are somewhat of a high top. Now, Jen has had issues with her ankles in the past, and I know she likes extra support. So they have this really nice high top shoe right here, which can give you a little bit extra ankle support. The other pair she got were these fashionable short top ones like this. Check those babies out. I'll put them this way. These are very nice. I love the design. I like the colors. I like the feel of it. It's like a rubbery feel here. I love the traction on the bottom. It feels very grippy, and the design is very good too. I could see how water would flow through this really well if you're stepping on watery surfaces, and how these would really grab on any kind of surface. Let's check this one out too. Check this one. That's a really good sole right there. It's got a lot of good traction on it. I'm rubbing my fingers against it, and I have a lot of resistance here. That would tell me that if this gets wet, this is going to have a good grip as well. Plus, it's pretty thick. So if you're on any kind of aggregate, or if you're on sand or like mud or snow or anything like that, I feel this is going to be a very good grip right here. So we got that going for us. Now, let's talk about the construction of a good shoe. This is a good shoe because it passes the killer K Rail Torsion Test. And it is as follows. You take your shoe like this and you bend it. Actually, this has paper in it. I emptied the paper in another one. There was paper stuffed inside here. I pre-ripped one of them out. You want to do a torsion test when you're checking for a new shoe. If you can do this easily and fold it in half without veins popping out in your arms, and if my veins are popping out, it's just because I did a hard workout today. This is what you want to do, and you want to do this both ways. This is the torsion test. It's an angle this way, and it's a fold in half easy. Let's take the other ones, and I'll do the same thing. Look at that. Look how easily I bent that shoe in half. And this way, it's like a taco. Easy as can be. That is the shoe test. That's what you want to do when you're purchasing a shoe or looking into shoes. If you can't do that, and I promise you very much, those shoes that rhyme with polka, you can't just go like this easily. You're going to be like Hercules trying to bend those doggone things in half because they're garbage. Don't wear them. Actually, I got a better word for you. 2 words. Get really close so you can hear me. Stop it! Okay, now that I got that out of my system, there's this nice little pull cord right here. You press this, and you pull that tight, and then you just tuck this in under the lace here, and then you're off to the races. Quick and easy. They slip on like slippers. And no, I haven't tried these shoes on, but I've had similar minimalist shoes that have the same kind of assembly on them, and I know how easy they are to get on and off, and for me, that's good. I like the convenient factor. Not to mention, when you put this on, it's not super tight on the top of your foot. It's tight enough to keep it on, and it's got a little bit of a loose fit, which is actually good because it gives your foot an additional way to breathe more and to move a little more functionally. So from a design perspective, I absolutely love it. It folds easy. I love the traction on the bottom. I like the design of it and the look of it. It's got a wide toe box right here. That's the toe box. See how it's wide? Your toes aren't going to be demolished. Her toes aren't going to be demolished. And the bones in the bottom of her feet are going to be able to remodel when she starts wearing these shoes. So I am super excited about her shoes. I may even be more excited about them than her. And I also love the color scheme, if I didn't mention that yet. This is a 2-tone blue, and that is white with a little pinkish hue on it. Now, they also sent some of this paperwork here. One of these things says, track your habits with these stickers. I don't really know where to put these or how they work, but I'm all about instilling positive habits, and I'm down with it. I like it. They also sent something I did want to show you. Where is it? Okay, this is pretty cool. Welcome to a journey of change, it says. This is a little card right here. It's called a habit tracker. See? Habit tracker. And I'm going to read this verbatim. And I quote, "Welcome to a journey of change. Tracking your daily habits is the first step towards a healthier you. Each check mark represents progress, a small victory that demonstrates your commitment and determination. Are you ready to take charge of your life and make meaningful changes? Let your habit tracker lead the way." And then over here it says goals. And then there are these little boxes. Let's see, is it? Yeah, it's like, it's a weekly thing and it's like a whole month worth of goals. I guess what you do is just write your goals out and then every day you just track what you're doing here. And I think that's brilliant. I love that. Hike Footwear Company. I think you've got something great here on your hands. And then you can just fold this in half and put it on your desk or something and look at it every day. And it's going to instill good habits in your life. And wearing minimalist shoes is a good habit, my friends. And when you're walking around your house during the day or the night, you should be barefoot at all times. Also, there's this card they sent too. And this says benefits of Hike Barefoot Shoes. Welcome to Barefoot Shoes, where each step connects you to the earth. Feel the natural sensation of walking with our innovative footwear, crafted to mimic barefoot freedom. Explore the benefits for comfort, freedom, and a closer connection to the world. And then they show a few different issues that happen right here with the feet and the ankles, and to give you a little bit more motivation to take care of your feet. Overall, I'm ecstatic with this new company I found, and when it comes time for me to get another pair of minimalist shoes, I'm definitely going to go to Hike Barefoot Footwear. And in the meantime, I highly suggest you look into them as well and ultimately try to get to a point where you become completely barefoot. But in the middle ground somewhere, you've got these great minimalist shoes, and I think these are a fantastic option to look into. And these are, again, the two that she's got, and they have a whole selection of them on their website as well. I scoped them out quickly the one day, but I'm going to go back and do a deeper dive. I may even ask Santa Claus for a pair of new minimalist shoes for Christmas. There you have it. There's my experience with my girlfriend going from shoes to getting some minimalist shoes, and my review on this wonderful company called Hike Footwear. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to hit me up, and please drop a comment and let me know what kind of shoes you're using these days. Do you have minimalist shoes? Have you had minimalist shoes? And what have you experienced with them? Are you a barefoot minimalist runner? Have you run barefoot? Do you do barefoot fitness? Let me know that as well. Also, make sure to check out my website, which will be in the description below. And make sure to like and share this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet. Till next time, this is Kevin Rail reporting live.